Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining. This class is going to be a full body express class, and I'm going to throw in an option to use some ankle weights if you have them. All right, let's get started. You're going to come to the back of your mat and you're going to walk yourself out into a high plank. We're going to get straight into our warm up. For this high plank, I want you to bring your toes wide. So we're finding a wide stance with those feet. Bring your toes to either edge of the mat. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Press out through your shoulders. Strong upper body here. Draw your belly button in towards your spine and find a neutral pelvis, a neutral spine. So we're not tucking through that tailbone. Take your gaze forward, and from here, you're going to inhale as you slowly, with control, drop those knees down towards the mat. The knees are going to tap the mat, and as soon as they do, you're going to exhale, slow lift them back up. So it goes inhale, slow tap, and exhale, slow lift. And I like to place the exhale where I'm finding more engagement, and for me, that's where I'm lifting my knees back up. I'm finding more work happening in my core there. And exhale, lifting it back up. And I want to talk through a few things here. So we want to think about moving with control. And I want you to imagine that if you had a book on your back, it wouldn't slide off even as the hips drop down, because we're moving so slowly and we're trying our best to keep that upper body still. All right, keep on going here. Breathing through it, continuing to press out through your shoulders. Keep a micro bend in those elbows. Really grip the mat firmly with all 10 finger pads. And we're just here for 3 more. Breathing through it. 4, 2. And 1 more. And lift those knees back up. And then come down into a tabletop. We're going to get into some glute work now. So our shoulders are still stacked over the wrists, hips over the knees, and I want you to zip up your legs together. We're going to start on the right side. You're going to lift the right leg up, keeping it in this bent position. So keeping that 90-degree bend in your knee, pointing through the toe, squeezing through the hamstring and the glute, and then you're going to lower it down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And I want you to almost imagine holding it at the top, just squeezing here for a hot second before you drop the knee back down. Feel that, really feel that hamstring engagement. Feel your right glute working here. The space between your glute and your thigh. And then the left glute is working hard too here to stabilize. Now I want you to think about hips squared down to the mat. So we're not opening and closing through the hip as we lift and lower the leg. Nice, let's do 3 more here. And then we're gonna hold it high. We're gonna hold that leg high in 2. And then you're gonna hold it here in 1. This is our last one, hold it. Keep pointing through those toes. I'm gonna pivot forward so you can see this move a little bit better. So from here, keeping that leg high, exactly where it was, you're gonna externally rotate through your right hip, and that's gonna cause you to open that knee up towards the side, but the rest of the leg is just staying still. It's coming along for the ride. This movement is coming from your right hip, and then you're gonna start to feel it big time in the external right glutes, those outer right glutes. And again, small movement here, very small range of movement. As much as your hips can open up without completely sacrificing your form here, keeping that core nice and tight. Let's do 3 more, and you should be feeling it big time in the right glute. 2, we're gonna hold it open, holding it on this one, in 1, hold it here, drawing little circles, for 3, and 2. Again, this is coming from the hip, everything else stays the same, and 1, switching direction for 5, 4, keeping that leg nice and high, burning through that right glute for 2, and 1, and then lower it down. Woo, all right, straight to the other side. Okay, so we're coming into the left side now. Find your tabletop, zip up through your legs, and this time pointing through the left toes, you're gonna lift that leg up, give it a little squeeze, feel your hamstring and your glutes working, and inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, lower down. And one thing I also want you to think about is you only want to bring that leg up as high as you can still support with your core and find still a healthy, nice, strong low back. So we don't want to curve through the low back in order to bring the leg higher. Continue on here. And the right glute's already kind of tired. And now the left glute's working here. Let's do 3 more. And try not to collapse through your shoulders. Notice if that's starting to happen as we fatigue. Here's 1 more, and then hold. And then I'm just gonna come forward again so you can see this a little bit better. So holding at knee high. From your left hip, you're gonna externally rotate out and then close it back down. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. And still keeping that core strong, not letting that low back dip. And again, this is just coming all from that left hip. So we are not moving anything else in the left leg. Left hip is opening and closing, left glute is working like crazy. Let's do 3 more, and then we're gonna take it to circles. Here's 3. And 2, keeping that leg nice and high, nice and elevated. 1 more, holding it open, little circles. For 5, 4, coming from the hip. 3, 2, and 1, finish, and then switch directions for 5. 4, stay strong, stick with it. 3, 2, 1 more, and bring the knee down. Woo, all right. Core is feeling nice and warm, glutes are feeling nice and activated, and we're gonna now get into some cardio. We'll warn you, there is gonna be jumping. If you're not jumping today and you're doing low impact, no worries at all. I've got plenty of modifications for you. Okay, so my jumpers, we're gonna take floor tap squats. You're gonna start with your legs together, bend through those knees, and you're gonna jump it out into a wide-legged squat. So knees externally rotated at 45 degrees. You're gonna sit the hips back and tilt the chest forward, keeping a nice open chest. Draw the shoulders back, knees tracking over the second and third toes, but not becoming beyond the toes. All right, and then you're gonna tap your left fingertips down, reach your right fingertips out, jump through center, and switch. Switching out those arms, just like that. Switch, and switch. And sitting low in that squat every time. Now, if you're not jumping, you're gonna start with those feet together and you're gonna take it into toe taps. So you're gonna tap the right toes out, reach those left fingertips down. Same with the arms, same as the jumpers with the arms. So you're just going to tap and tap, tap and tap, staying low the whole time, really working through those quads. If you want a little bit more and you wanna make this a little bit faster tempo, you can add in a shuffle with the legs, and this will just help you get your heart rate a little higher. All right, continue on here with whichever variation, whatever option's working for you today. We've got 30 more seconds here. Maybe you get a little bit higher in the jump. Maybe you sit a little bit lower in the squat, or maybe you move a little bit faster. All right, 15 seconds. You can do anything here. Stick with it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! You guys, I'm working up a sweat, and we're only 10 minutes into class. All right, we have another move here in cardio. It's gonna be another jumping move, so don't worry, I will offer the low impact version. Okay, I don't have a name for this move. I'm open to suggestions. You're gonna start with your feet together, and again, you're gonna jump out into that wide-legged squat again. So same as the move before, wide-legged squat, knees open at 45 degrees, and we're gonna tilt that chest forward, opening through the chest. But the objective of this one is to find as much hang time in the air before you land, with your legs zipped up together. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like. Starting in your squat with your legs together, zipped up. You're gonna jump up in the air, finding as much hang time as you can, zipping up through your legs, and then land. Then you're gonna jump it back together and start over. Lift and land. And I like to think of as myself as like a little rocket launcher. That's the visual I have for myself, at least. Maybe that might help you. And think about landing toe ball heel here. Soft landing for the knees. Okay, my non-jumpers. You're gonna start here and you're gonna step out with your right foot and out with your left, staying low. You're gonna step it back in with your right, step it in with your left. You're gonna come up onto your toes to stand and lower it down. Really trying to find length when you stand up. Now start with your left, right, right. Lift and lower, and continuing here, just alternating the side that leads. Beautiful. And if you want, you can start to pick up the tempo once you got the hang of it. All right, now continue on here. Whichever option you're taking, stick with it. We only have 30 more seconds. It goes by fast. Feeling it in those quads now. Breathing through it. 15 more seconds. Woo! Sit equally low in your squat every time. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. And step it together. Oh my God. Woo. I am drenched in my own sweat. Maybe that's happening for you too. I hope so. All right. But we move fast in these express classes, so yeah, go grab those ankle weights if you're using them, because we're going straight to the next move for a little standing arms. And I'm gonna come sideways here so you can see my working leg. All right, so you're gonna start with your legs together, legs zipped up, and you're gonna stick your tailbone back and find a long spine here. Chest is tilting slightly forward, keeping a nice open chest, and finding a long spine from the crown of your head out through your tailbone, keeping a neutral pelvis here. You're gonna bring your elbows in by your waist, palms face up, squeezing them in. You're gonna extend the left toes out as you reach the arms overhead. And then you're gonna draw it back into center. Exhale, extend, and inhale, squeeze it in. Exhale, reach. Inhale, squeeze. Couple of things to think about here. Almost all of your weight is in that right leg. And I want you to think about placing the weight more in the ball mound of your right foot to help find that balance. Take your gaze long in front of you, so towards the top edge of your mat as opposed to directly in front of you. Reach those arms out, squeeze them back in. They're working equally hard as they come back in. We're not relaxing through those arms. If this is too much in the arms, you can absolutely bring them lower or ditch the weights. You should feel this in the biceps, and in the legs, you're feeling it mostly in the right glute, supporting you here, and in that right hamstring. We're doing 3 more and then switching up. Here's 2. And 1. And then you're gonna hold everything in. And again, I'm gonna pivot forward so you can see what we're doing. We're now gonna bring the arms into goalpost, elbows in line with those shoulders, palms face down. And now you're gonna reach your toes out to the left as you sweep those arms out and squeeze them back in. Reach, pull it back down. Now we're feeling it in the deltoids, the tops of those shoulders. And with the toes reaching out to the left, we're feeling it in the left oblique too. That right glute right about now should be saying some pretty nasty things to you, at least mine is. All right, 5 more here. 5. Little to no weight in that left toe. 4. Strong core here. 3. 2. Take 1 more. Finish it up, and then stand all the way up. Whew. Shake out the left leg. Right leg. Oh my gosh, I can't get my rights on my left right. Okay, turn to the other side, and we're gonna get into the other, we're gonna get into that left side now. Okay, so bringing those legs together. Arms in by your waist, elbows in, palms face up. And this time we're gonna extend the right toes back as we reach our arms forward. So it goes extend as you exhale, and as you inhale, draw everything back to center. Extend and squeeze. We're reaching and pulling it in. And again, feeling this in the biceps, bringing the arms lower if it's too much for the shoulders, And shifting all of your weight into that left leg. Think ball mound of your foot. And bring the knee back so it's not crossing past your toes. Exhale as you extend, inhale as you draw it in. Let's do 5. And 4. There's so much sweat. 3. I hope that's not TMI for you. 2. And 1 more. Holding it in. And again, I'm gonna shift over so you can see me. Bring your arms to that goalpost. We're gonna extend the toes to the right now as we reach those arms out. And squeeze. Out and squeeze. Exhale, inhale. Remember to breathe. I promise it helps. I know it sounds silly, but I promise you it'll help. All right. And feeling it deep in that outer left glute, left hamstring. Let's do 5 and 4. 3. Stick with it. 2. 1 more. Woo, and stand it all the way up. Oh my God, I'm so sweaty. I keep saying it, but you know, I also secretly love it when I get this sweaty. I just feel like I'm getting a really good workout. In fact, I feel like I'm not getting a good workout unless I'm sweating a lot. So I hope that you guys are feeling that. And sorry, I forgot to mention, we are now placing our ankle weights on our actual ankles for a little bit of core. For a little added challenge, you can absolutely do this without the ankle weights. You're gonna find a seat on your mat and you're gonna roll your weight back and find a scoop in the low belly, big horn, and then you're going to point through your toes, little to no weight in your toes, and you can even lift your toes a few times and make sure that there's no weight there. Reaching your arms forward, you're gonna bring your right knee into tabletop and then tap it down. Exhale, left, and tap. And just switching it out here. Tap, lifting and tapping. And tap, lift, and tap. I like to exhale when I lift the leg up because that's where I'm finding more engagement. Inhale on my way down. And again, just finding that lower belly scoop. Nice, lift and tap. Just getting the core warmed up here. Well, it's already warm, but getting a little more engagement. Okay, 3 more each side. And here's 2 and 2. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And 1 and 1. And now you're gonna bring both knees into tabletop and hold it here for a minute. And you can already notice this is a lot harder for the core to support. You have the weight of your legs that you have to support now, and then we're gonna just drop the toes down. So we're finding the inverse movement here. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. And with the extra ankle weights, it's definitely more challenging. If it's too much, just take them off and then come back into the movement. Moving slow, moving with control and precision here. Feeling this in the lower abdominal muscles. Okay, 3 more each side. Here's 2 and 2 and 1 and 1, and then drop both legs down. All right, we're now gonna come all the way down to our mats. And we're gonna extend our legs long, and your arms are gonna be palms facing down, long on the mat. Keep your shoulders back, so try not to let them peel up like this. And find just a neutral spine here again. So don't curve through the spine and don't tuck through the tailbone. You're gonna lift your right leg up towards the sky, and we're gonna take big circles here. So you're gonna draw your leg out towards the right, out and around, hovering low over the mat. Exhale, lifting the leg back up. So inhale, start to lower, draw that big circle out and around, and exhaling as you lift that leg up. So we're working deep into the core. It might take you a few reps to recognize that. Sometimes this one takes a while for me to feel it. And we're also feeling it in the leg as well. That inner thigh is working as we lift that leg back up. Especially if you've got the ankle weight on, you're gonna feel this a little more immediately. Okay, 2 more, and then we'll switch directions. Moving nice and slow and trying to keep everything really stable except for that right hip, which is helping move the leg. This is our last one, and we're now switching directions. So we're gonna come down and out and around. Exhale, lifting the leg up. Inhale, lower, and exhale as you lift the leg back up towards the sky. 4 more here. Moving slow. Nice, and keeping that chest open. Breathing through it. Keep your gaze up towards the ceiling. Nice long neck. 2 more. And then we're gonna take it to the other side. Whew, and that right inner thigh for me just right about now is really, really feeling it. This is our last one. And then go ahead and drop the leg all the way down. Whew, take a breather here, and then we're gonna get right to the other side. So you're gonna lift that left leg up. It's gonna come out and around towards the left. Down towards the mat. Exhale, lift up to center. And repeat. Moving slow. And now we're isolating this movement to the left hip. Everything else is trying to stay still. And you should be starting to feel this in your core. I'm definitely feeling it now, getting deep into that core. We have 3 more. And 2. And 1 more. And then we're gonna switch direction after this one, lowering it down as you inhale, out and around, lifting it back up as you exhale. Down, out towards the left, sweep it back up. 4 more. You've got this. Breathing through it. Here's 3. And 2. Last one. Finish this round all the way through. And then bring the leg all the way down. Whew. And then hug your knees into your chest. Give them a nice squeeze. And we have 1 more little move in core, and then we're gonna get to stretching. Go ahead and bring those legs up the wall. And we're gonna take little flutter kicks down towards the mat, just to a place where you can hold this and still keep it in the core out of your low back, and exhale, lifting the legs back up. 4 more rounds like that. Down as you inhale, and then exhale, lifting the legs back up. 2 more. Down. Exhale, lifting it back up. Actually, we have 2 more now. Down. Inhaling. Exhale to lift the legs back up. Last one here, and then we're gonna switch it out with the legs. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, kicking the legs back up. And now keep on going, but we're gonna take scissor kicks now. Little scissor kicks down to lower. Inhale and exhale as you lift the legs back up. 4 more rounds. Inhale to lower. Keeping the legs as straight as you can. Exhale to lift. Lower. Keeping the chest open, keeping it in your core, out of your low back. So if you're finding your low back start to arch, bring the legs a little bit higher. And exhale, lift. And we have just 1 more round. Lowering. And exhale, lifting those legs back up all the way to the top. And then hug your knees in. And go ahead and unstrap those ankle weights if you were using them. Place them off to the side. We no longer need them. Hug your knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze. We're just gonna get into some stretching now. So we're gonna take a easy supine twist, dropping both knees over towards the left. And you're gonna take your gaze over towards the right. Maybe open out through your arms. And if you wanna deepen the twist, you can bring your left hand to the outer right thigh and just encourage those knees down and twist a little bit deeper here. Breathing through this one. Whew. And then coming through center and switching it out, dropping both knees over towards the right and taking that gaze to the left. That one was a real burner. I got very, very sweaty, and it was only in about 20 minutes. I was already sweating a lot in the first 10 minutes of class. All right, bring those knees back to center. And then come up to a seat. We're gonna take a little butterfly stretch, get our inner thighs. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. Grab for the knife edges of your feet. Open up those knees. Sit up tall through the chest. And then slowly start to lower over your toes. Finding a nice, long, flat spine. And then once you're at your max, you can start to lower your head down. And just breathe here. Every inhale, you're trying to find space in those inner thighs. And every exhale, you sink a little bit deeper. Find a little bit more depth in this stretch. And as always, as I say, if you have time after class to dedicate to stretching, I totally encourage you to do that and take the time and really stretch. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely don't spend enough time stretching, which isn't great. So I'm gonna try to make that an intention. Okay, go ahead and grab for your ankles now. We're gonna find a little seated cat-cow, inhaling through your chest and exhale, rounding out through your spine. One more inhale, puffing out through your chest. Exhale, cat round through your spine. Go ahead and sit all the way up. And you guys are all done with class. Thank you so much for joining. It was a real sweaty one. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're wanting to stay tuned for what's next, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.